Hey there, fellow movie fans. Thank you so much for joining me as we talk some movie news here on the channel. So, in this episode of Review Flicks, we're going to be diving into some horror news. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Halloween series and how it's going to dive back into the franchise's roots. So, guys, if you are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the movie and streaming news we have going on this channel. And with that down, we're going to be jumping into this article here from comicflicknews.com. So, Halloween reboot series returns to the franchise's original roots. New Halloween TV series to explore franchise origins, says Miramax television head. In an exclusive interview with Deadline, Mark Helwig, the head of Miramax Television, shared exciting details about the forthcoming Halloween television series. Helwig revealed that the series will delve into the origins of the iconic horror franchise, drawing inspiration from John Carpenter's original film. It absolutely makes sense to take inspiration from that original John Carpenter Halloween movie. That's where fans fell in love with the movie back in the 70s, that first movie of Michael Myers, wearing the classic costume that we now think of, and obviously going around attacking Laurie Strode. And like I say, taking inspiration from that movie absolutely makes sense to go forward into a TV show. So he emphasized a return to the roots of the franchise, focusing on characters that have not received much attention in the recent film adaptations. This creative reset marks a departure from previous iterations, offering a fresh perspective on the beloved horror saga. Miramax Television's collaboration with Trancas, established in fall 2023, signals a new chapter for the Halloween series, promising fans an immersive journey back to where it all began. So this is a franchise that has quite a convoluted continuity. As you look at this picture here, as a new fan to try and come on board with Halloween, if you was to watch the movies, it's kind of a bit of a mess. There's continuity guides online as to different, sections of the franchise and how to watch them. But it's a bit of a muddled kind of history. But as long as they communicate with the audience clearly as to where the story is going, does it follow on from the original movie? Is it a full reboot? Is the continuity different? As long as they communicate this in the marketing and fans are clear as to where the story's going and where it lies within the timeline, then, going back to the roots absolutely makes sense. So Miramax television head, Mark Helwig, also weighed in on the recent Halloween films, particularly David Gordon Green trilogy. Reflecting on the expansive universe of the franchise, Helwig acknowledged that the trilogy's conclusion with Halloween Ends, describing it as a fitting end to the saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. Yeah, I mean, Blumhouse, they did that first Halloween movie in 2018, I believe. I really enjoyed that first movie. Then the sequels came out. They weren't so well received as that first movie, but I still enjoyed them. I still got a lot of enjoyment out of the second and third movie that Blumhouse did. Like I say, a lot of people didn't really like them so much as the first one, but still, they were worth making and they were still fun to watch. And the conclusion, I think it was pretty good, to be honest. So, he emphasized the finality in their story, suggesting that there may not be an opportunity to continue from where the trilogy left off. I think it ended on a definitive point with that last movie and what happened to Michael Myers at the end. I don't think we need to continue that story. It's done, it's dusted, and let's move on to newer things. So with Michael Myers meeting his demise in a brutal and unforgettable manner in Halloween Ends, provided a closure that seemed conclusive for the infamous murder and his relentless pursuer, Laurie Strode. Yeah, like I said, he met his gruesome end in that movie, Halloween Ends. There's nowhere else to go for the story. I mean, you could bring him back. I guess he is a supernatural entity to a point. But, let's move on to a different part of the timeline, a different continuity, and let's explore a different avenue to keep things fresh, for the audience going forward. So which direction will the show actually take? I love this little gif here, with the police lights and kind of Michael Myers appearing in the background. It's pretty freaky, actually, to be honest. So despite the apparent finality of Michael Myers' demise in the Halloween franchise, has a long-standing tradition of exploring different timelines and storylines within its universe. This flexibility allows selective acknowledgement of certain films while disregarding others. Like I say, you can absolutely do that. You can get rid of certain films, you can take from other certain films, as long as they clearly communicate it to the audience as to where it fits within the franchise and what films we're using as, prior movies or what films we're building on, so that fans aren't confused as to what's canon and, what isn't canon. Otherwise, the audience will just get lost and not know what's going on. So, for instance, the latest Halloween trilogy chose to recognise only the original 1978 film as canon. That was absolutely the right choice, I believe, that they did there. Disregarding the narratives of subsequent sequels, this approach highlights the franchise's ability to pivot between various timelines and worlds, offering fans diverse interpretations while maintaining the core essence of the iconic horror saga. After enduring years of rights disputes and death of new stories, the iconic Friday the 13th franchise is venturing into territory titled Crystal Lake. The upcoming prequel series promises to delve into the origins of the infamous camp that later served as haunting grounds for Jason Voorhees in the beloved film series. I have my reservations about this Crystal Lake series. It's a prequel series to what happened to Jason Voorhees. Obviously, he grew up, he was at Crystal Lake, he was bullied because he looked different, and then he drowned in the lake and then became the supernatural killer that we all know. But the thing that makes Friday the 13th so great, that iconic horror icon dressed in the hockey mask, murdering people with a big machete, that's kind of what we want to see. Do people really want to see a bunch of camp counselors in a TV series and then just, a prequel to the Friday the 13th? Do people really want to see that? Jason Voorhees before he was the masked killer? I don't know how interesting that's going to be. So I have my reservations, but I think a lot of people will be excited to see it. We'll have to see how it goes, but I'm not really sure about it at the moment. So this exciting development marks a significant pivot for the franchise, offering fans a fresh perspective on the iconic slasher saga. Stay tuned for updates for Crystal Lake. Prepares to take audiences on a chilling journey back to the beginnings of horror's most notorious summer camp. Again, going back and telling a prequel story of Jason Voorhees before he was the killer at Crystal Lake. I'm not sure how interesting that's going to be, but I'll watch it and see how it goes. But yeah, guys, so this is very, very interesting. There's going to be a Halloween reboot series in the works, And where exactly are they going to take the direction of the show? It says here they're going to take inspirations from that original 1970s movie, but where will it lie in the actual canon of the continuity in the series? Is it going to just bank on that first movie like it did with the Blumhouse Halloween movies? Or is it going to acknowledge the other sequels as well? At this point, it's hard to tell, but as I keep saying, as long as they clearly communicate it in the marketing, then I think it all will work out. But I'm interested to see Michael Myers in a series. I think that'll be fun. As long as they have some good kills, we don't expect Shakespeare or any great dialogue, just some gruesome kills. That's all we need to have a good time. But guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for a Halloween reboot series? And do you find the Halloween series as a whole, do you find it a bit convoluted in its kind of canon, in its continuity? Let me know what you think about that. Thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to hear what you have to say, and I will see you soon.